Getting eloquent with rhetorical pauses.
William Russell (1798–1873) wrote the following about the importance of rhetorical pauses in speech. The great use of pauses is to divide thought into its constituent portions, and to leave the mind opportunity of contemplating each distinctly, so as fully to comprehend and appreciate it, and, at the same time, to perceive its relation to the whole. Appropriate pauses are of vast importance, therefore, to a correct and impressive style of delivery. And without them, indeed, speech cannot be intelligible. There are 12 basic rules for when to use rhetorical pauses. These rules are the secret behind the great speeches given by motivating speakers such as Bill Gates and President Obama. Many of the examples here are taken from their speeches. Use these rules to make your presentations more successful. We will now explain how to enter a rhetorical pause in the text in the Add Edit Narration clip dialog. Position the cursor between two words of text, where you want to enter the pause.
Click the rhetorical pause button, denoted by the vertical bar.
The vertical bar is inserted in the text. Rule number 1, pause after a subject noun of importance. Prosperity gains friends, and adversity tries them.
Dad, I always told you I'd come back and get my degree.
Harvard was a phenomenal experience for me.
Change is what's happening in America.
Rule number 2, pause after a subject phrase. To practice virtue is the sure way to love it.
Most of the guys were math-science types.
But humanity's greatest advances are not in its discoveries, but in how those discoveries are applied to reduce inequity.
Riches, pleasure, and health become evils to those who do not know how to use them.
Rule number 3, pause before an object phrase. I offered to sell them software.
But taking a serious look back, I do have one big regret. You can be the new majority.
Rule number 4, pause before and after an intermediate phrase. I've been waiting more than 30 years to say this.
We will finish the job against Al-Qaeda in Afghanistan.
All of the candidates in this race share these goals. Rule number 5, pause between each word in a series of adjectives or adverbs. Let but one brave, great, active man arise.
It could be exhilarating, intimidating, sometimes even discouraging, but always challenging.
Our new American majority can end the outrage of unaffordable, unavailable healthcare in our time.
To love wisely, rationally, and prudently is not to love at all.
Rule number 6, add a pause after a word to emphasize. I want to thank Harvard for this honor.
It will be nice to finally have a college degree.
That we are one people, that we are one nation. Rule number 7, pause before and after a word to especially emphasize. I'm a bad influence. Together we will begin the next great chapter in the American story with 3 words that will ring from coast to coast, from sea to shining sea. Yes, we can. Rule number 8, pause before a preposition. I have a college degree on my resume.
I applaud the graduates for taking a much more direct route to your degrees. We can do this with our new majority.
Rule number 9, pause before a conjunction. Which was a good thing because we hadn't written the software yet.
You know more about the world's inequities than the classes that came before.
There is no problem we cannot solve. There is no destiny that we cannot fulfill. Rule number 10, pause before a relative pronoun or relative adverb. There is something happening when Americans who are young in age and in spirit who've never participated in politics before turn out in numbers.
So it stays in the background where it's easy to ignore.
And all are patriots who serve this country honorably. Rule number 11, when a preposition comes before a pronoun, pause before the preposition. I have read the book of which I have heard so much. Rule number 12, when a preposition is part of a verb, a phrasal verb, the pause comes after it. You should stand by your friend.
Can we join in the discussion?
She handed in a difficult assignment.
Thank you for reviewing Getting Eloquent with Rhetorical Pauses with Speech Over. See the notes pane on this slide for additional useful information. Bye for now.